Hey everybody, what's going on? What's hot? What's hip? What's happening? What's shaking on your Thursday night? Right now we have 4 people in here. I don't really feel like doing a show for 4 people. I'm sorry. Oh wait, we just jumped up to 6. Oh Jesus, now it's all worth it. Hey everyone, hey Tom, says Hugh. Hello Hugh. We got Terry Nee in here, Rumple Trenchcoat Dupa. Better known as Karen Garvey, excuse me. Who else we got here? That's about it. Let's see here. How much is the goal today? It's the same as every day. We say $10, but it's who gives a shit, you know? It's whatever, you know. This show is going into the toilet so fast it's not even funny. Got to figure some stuff out. Can't be doing any more of these 10-person shows. I can't. So we're not worthy. Yeah, I'd say you're worthy, but it's just, what time does the show start? It starts at like 5 till. Starts kind of whenever I say, well, when does Rico start? You know, they say a certain time, but today it was like, what, 24 minutes after. You know, it starts when it starts. It's in the neighborhood of 8 o'clock Eastern, I guess. That's what time it starts. What time do these other shows start? They pick a new time every fucking day. Excuse my language. But, so, I don't know. Starts whenever it starts. It takes just as much work to do a show for 5 people than it does for 3 million people. It's just stuff you got to do, and it's about an hour's worth of crap before every show. And so you do that, and then you get ready to do the show, and it'll be there. You just don't want to do a show. So ice cream trucks. What are we going to talk about today? For a certain period of time. I mean, Karen, the problem isn't that let's see. Terry Nee says, I left Rico for you. Well, they've been on for an hour. They're probably still playing DJ Devil songs. I don't know. I appreciate that. I guess I thought those guys were going to be 7 o'clock Eastern. 7 o'clock. That's our time now. 7 o'clock. So I moved mine back an hour. Okay. All right. Yeah. I got a note from Phil Elmore posted to my last show about the DabbleCon. And his point was that buying the live stream means that it's a substitute for actually being there. You know, you're in real time and reacting and I appreciate that, I guess. I mean, I buy concert DVDs and I seem to have the ability in my head to pretend I'm at that show right then. I'm not going, wow, this was recorded a long time ago. I don't feel like I'm part of the group. No, when I watch even a Rico that I didn't see live, it's live to me while I'm watching it. It's as if I am partaking of it the very first time. And so that my point is, and everybody's different, if you like to feel that in real time stuff, great. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm not wrong when I say, hey, I paid the $30 to have access to this stuff. Because last time you couldn't access it. And this time, the very next day, you could access it. And it's like, well, if I'd have known that, I would have waited a day or two. And you know what I mean? Here's my good friend George Neal. George Neal, the legendary bass player for the noted heavy metal band Halloween. George says, hi, Tom. Sorry I've been around between health issues in the band and my new venue. It's hard to have a life. I'm working right now. Wanted to stop in for a few minutes. Hey, George, it is so great to see you. Ladies and gentlemen, George Neal is one of the founders of Sonic Asylum Radio. They've been kind enough to have our show on their Facebook platform for quite a while. Metal Maiden Vicky's been in here from Metal Maiden Vicky's Metal Euphoria. And George is the guy that's kind of behind all that. Had some health problems over the last couple of years. Hopefully you're through all that. Starting a new venue. I'm sure it'll be a music venue of note in the Detroit area. And he's still got the band. The band still plays and stuff. So, George, it is so good to see you. And I'm hoping you're doing better. And I'm hoping that you're going to Tubby's tonight for dinner. Terry Nee says, for the first time. I don't know what that's all about, but hey now, Chev is in the house. Tubby's rules. Doc Torrance here. Hey Tom, my fellow gully heads, and I missed the show. Oh, we got 12 people now. Oh, I can do the show now. 12 whole people. So happy to see George, but not me. Yes, I'm happy to see you, Terry, but George hasn't been in here in a month of Sundays. You're here all the time. Always happy to see you, Terry. Just waiting for your next jibe about how I'm old or whatever. Even though you're older than me, Chief. You're older than me. So that was my point about that. It's like, well, yeah, if you want the live experience, go to the show. Or watch live with your $30. But see, here's my biggest problem with all that. That $30 forced me to stay at my computer a long time this weekend. And it was fine because it was super entertainment. I was very, was not displeased with spending $30, but parking my ass in a chair for a long, long time, I don't like doing that. And if I'd have known that I could just access all that stuff the next day, I wouldn't have spent $30 because I wouldn't have want my ass taped to the thing. You know what I mean? Oh, Karen Garvey. I feel like I talked you into getting the DabbleCon 2 live stream. Here's your money back. I can't bring back the time wasted. Karen Garvey, you did not have to do that. I did that on my own. I was going to do it anyway. You didn't talk me into it. Let's see here. 47 isn't old, Tom. You're damn right. George Neal says, I'll be contacting you soon. Time to do some Tom Gully promotion like the old days. Oh, that'll be great. That'll be great. Let me tell you a little something about my friends at Sonic Asylum Radio. I don't even remember how I ran into those guys, but maybe I went to Metal Maiden Vicky's show or something. I don't know. Dupa for the win. Yeah, Karen Garvey, that was so nice of you. You didn't have to do that. You really did not have to do that, but thank you. And so it's only $21, Dupa. Yeah. Facebook will take, YouTube will take a little of that, but they deserve it because they're doing so much good work for me. So I ran into these guys for, Terry is funny. I ran into these guys, Sonic Asylum, and we hit it off. And I was on a bunch of other networks at the time. And I don't remember how it happened, but they're heavy metal. They're metal people. They like metal. I'm not a tremendous fan of metal. There's some of it I like, but there's a lot more of it I like now that I've listened to Sonic Asylum Radio. And I have to admit, I'm a bad person. I had that stereotype that a lot of people have with heavy metal music. They're all skinheads and they all have neck tattoos and a pit bull and a jail sentence. And no, these are the coolest people in the world. They are the nicest, coolest, hippest, funnest. They're awesome. They really, really, really are awesome. And I'm really glad to have an association with those guys and George. So thanks for stopping by, George. I appreciate it. Metal is love. It is. It pretty much is. So I got a couple more minutes here. And we'll do another show. I guess I'll give a shot on Sunday, unless I get invited. Look, the Sunday members only thing I do because I feel like people that pay for a membership should get something out of it. Something. And it seemed like people liked that. The last 2 or 3 of them, either no one's there or there's 2 people there. I don't know about you, but I like my Sundays. And to carve out, because we're watching a movie, so there's 2 hours plus an hour of prep. You know, that's 3 hours in the middle of my Sunday. I saw heavy metal in a theater in 1981. Terry Nee, I believe I did too. And Bakshi, I think, did another thing called American Pop. I remember seeing that because I had taken some pharmaceuticals at the start of the movie, and about 45 minutes in, they weren't working, so I took another one, and about 5 minutes after I took the second one, the first one hit, and barely remember that movie, frankly. It's quite an evening. When the police can't wake you up and they finally just go, just let him sleep. Don't quiet it down at a party. Just keep it quiet. We can't wake him up. So anyway. Was that the only other thing? But anyway, Phil's point is well taken, but it's just, I'm the guy that didn't go see Infinity War or Endgame at the theater and waited until I could buy the used Blu-ray. That's who I am. Too sleepy to be arrested. Yep. Yeah. Well, we left the party. By this time, I'm pretty out of it. And we left the movie theater, and went to a party. We got to this party. I immediately went to the nearest couch and laid down on it and didn't wake up till the next morning. LOL, let him sleep. Yeah. So the party apparently was making a bunch of noise, and police came. And they marched in, and there's probably some underage drinkers there. There's whatever. And they tried to roust me, apparently, and I wouldn't wake up. And one of the cops I knew, because he was the security guard cop at McDonald's where I worked, and he went, he's an athlete. He probably had a game or something. Yeah. Randy said, I thought about you, so I'm making cabbage soup. Cabbage. The fuzz at a party. Yeah, they got called because there was too much noise. It was in a houses that's been chopped up into apartments. So this was like a 3-bedroom apartment. It was a big apartment on the top floor, and we were making so much noise the neighbors complained, and the cops came. Officer Collins was the one that just let him sleep. Hey, by the way, look what we got behind me there. It's an ice cream truck. I think that one's in like Helsinki or somewhere. It's a foreign ice cream truck. Just in case some of that ice cream on the side of the truck looks foreign to you. That's why it is. Let me get my thing open here. Got to jazz this show up somehow. Got to get it jazzed up. Let's see. How you guys doing? How's everybody doing today? Everybody having a good day? I was in a great mood. Now we're down to 6 people. We were up to 12. Now we've got 6. Jesus, why am I? There's a certain, diminishing returns. All right, let's just do this. Hey, everybody knows this guy, right? Huh? I'm sure everybody knows that guy. All right, let's get another one up here. There we go. That's a Hollywood ice cream truck. Look at that. Big Hollywood. That's a fancy one. Look at that. They got velvet ropes for that one. Jeez Louise. An ice cream van, that's what they're called in Britain, or an ice cream truck, which is what we call it here in the United States, is a commercial vehicle that serves, prepackaged ice cream, usually during the spring and summer. Now, if you're lucky and you're living where I live, the damn thing comes by at 9 o'clock at night all year long. But usually when I'm doing my show as well. Ice cream vans are often seen parked at public events, near parks, beaches, or other areas where people congregate. Ice cream trucks often travel near where children play, outside schools, residential areas, like where I live, or other locations. They usually stop briefly before moving on to the next street. Along the sides of the truck, a large sliding window acts as a serving hatch, and that often displays pictures of available products and their prices. For instance, the ice cream truck that comes by here, you can get a chocolate-covered vanilla bar for about $30. I think he's charging for those. $30, $40. Yeah, most of these vehicles tend to sell both pre-manufactured stuff in wrappers, and then they also have soft serve from a machine. The guy here does not have soft serve. That would require buying product and keeping it refrigerated for the proper amount of time and all that stuff. Yeah. So, while franchises or chains are rare within the ice cream truck community, some do exist, although most trucks are independently owned and run. For instance, the one in my neighborhood is apparently run by a well-known by a well-known felon who's apparently trying to use his ice cream business to generate as many Marlboro miles as he possibly can while he's delivering the ice cream. These things been around for a while, too. Check those babies out. Would you check those babies out? That's a buttercup ice cream, man. That's some good stuff. Early ice cream trucks carried simple ice cream during a time when most families did not own a freezer. So ice cream was a real major delicacy. As freezers in people's homes became more commonplace, ice cream vans moved towards selling novelty ice creams, such as the bars or the pops or the drumsticks or the Choco Taco. A distinctive feature of ice cream vans is their music. Yeah, which often takes the form of a famous and recognizable tune, which will rot your brain and causes cerebral edema if you hear it enough days in a row. In the U.S., they'll play the band played on Lullaby by Brahms, Camptown Raise It, Ding Ding Dong, or they'll play The Entertainer. You know what that one is? Dun 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 dun. The music from the Sting. Home on the Range is another one. If You're Happy and You Know It. La Cucaracha, Little Brown Jug, The London Bridge is Falling Down. Mr. Softy Jingle, Music Box Dancer, Pop Goes the Weasel, Sailing, Sailing, Turkey in the Straw, Yankee Doodle. Turkey in the Straw is what the Hunyuk that comes through here plays. I could tell you. You guys want to know about the UK ice cream? They got hard vans and soft vans, and soft vans have the soft serve ice cream. Because of the British climate, running an ice cream van profitably is not only difficult outside of summer, but very unpredictable. Yeah. Apparently people don't buy it in the winter. Yeah. In England, street trading regulations prohibit ice cream vans from remaining in one static location. So they're only allowed 15 minutes stopped per day per vehicle. Damn. And there's also limits to the music, limits to the use of the chimes, the volume cannot be above 80 decibels, and the duration only 12 seconds. God, I wish we had those rules, although it does say here that those rules are rarely observed or enforced. So, you know, here's another European, Mr. Whippy. Yeah, here we go. Let's look at some of your comments real fast. One of these days, that ice cream truck is going to drive by. Tom's going to take a break, and then we're going to have a loud bang, and Tom's going to sit back with a huge grin and like bloody froth all over me. I hope the ice cream man makes an appearance in this episode. Oh, that would be bitter irony. Doc Torn, that is funny. The Reverend is here. Good Humor and Mr. Softy were the ones by me. Yes. Let's see here. ISO lives in Texas. I don't know who ISO is. I didn't know anything about this guy till a couple days ago. Yeah, I don't know where the guy lives. Too soon? I don't know. I don't know anything about that. I don't. It's like watching a TV show and they talk about a character that was on during a season that you didn't watch. It's Ice Cream Man makes an appearance, yes. In Maximum Overdrive, the ice cream truck played King of the Road once the machine started taking over. That's funny. George Neal says, when I was a kid, we would hear the truck bells, and if you listen carefully, you could hear all the kids screaming in the background. Scream. Yeah. Sailing, wasn't that a song by Sticks? I think, Dr. Torn, Sailing was by Christopher Cross. But I could be mistaken. Red Wild Bill says, I like to play Tiptoe Through the Tulips on my ice cream truck. I'd like that better than what we got. Back in World War II, the USA ran on ice cream. Tail gunners put a bucket of ingredients, and during flight, the freezing temps and shaking would make the tasty treats. That's pretty cool. You ever make ice cream? They used to have those kits and the crank and the salt and the ice cube. It was a bitch, man. You'd sit there and just crank and crank. And once you got done, the ice cream wasn't that good. They also had a cement of brick. They also had a cement brick of a boat dedicated to making this stuff. Wow. People saying hi. Most cheerful chat room on the internet is verified by independent sources. Why are we capitalizing Ice Cream Man? Does he deserve to be a proper noun? I vote no. I don't know. I think we just do that to... It looks better on the rap sheet. My dad used to drive a Mr. Softy truck. Hey there. Hey, that's Randy. Come Sail Away was by Six. That is correct. Styx did the song Sail Away. That's probably what confused me. All right, let's get back to this crap. Here's another ice cream truck for you. There you go. That's one, if you blow your screen up, you can see all the various ice creams they sell on the side and then the pricing. Yeah. In the United States, apart from ice cream trucks may also sell snow cones, Italian ice, water ice snacks, soft drinks, candy. Oh, man. One summer, I just remembered this. I haven't thought about this in probably 40 years. You're going to enjoy this. One summer, when I was in my sophomore years, probably between my sophomore and junior year or freshman and sophomore year in high school, the guy who ran the city's Little League baseball had been a coach of mine when I was in Little League. And he saw a friend of mine and I hanging around the Little League Diamonds during the tryouts because it was really close to my house. It was fun to go there. There was lots of people there all the time, kids you knew from school, all that. And so every year before baseball started, you had tryouts where the coaches would put you either in the majors or AAA or AA or whatever. You in our little league, you stayed with the same team. So if you were with the Mets in single A, you'd be with the Mets in double A and the Mets in triple A. But anyway, we're hanging around, and this guy comes up and he says, hey, I desperately need umpires. And you guys could make a lot of money this summer, a lot of money, umpiring these ball games. You just got to go to 2 8-hour classes. It's done on a weekend. You could do it this weekend. We'll pay for the classes, and then you umpire the games. How much does it pay? $7 a game, I think, was what it was, which was a lot of money in high school back then. The minimum wage was $3.05 an hour. So there you go. So I think we got $7 a game. And I think you did like 4 games a night or something like that. And then on Saturdays, you did a ton of games. So we did that. We did it all summer, and it taught me a lot of important things. And one of them was assertiveness, because I had adults trying to get in my face, and that wasn't a strike. And what do you mean? And man, I'll never forget the first game a guy got in my face. And I said, Coach, back to your dugout, please. Back to your dugout. And he keeps yelling. The guy that signed me up to be the umpire guy, he goes, hey, come here. And I came over to the backstop, and he goes, you need to ring that guy up. You kick him out. He can't talk to you that way. I went, really? I can do that? Because I'm trying not to cause problem. He goes, no, umpire your game. Somebody gets lippy with you, toss him. So I was tossing guys left and right the first week of the season, because they saw a 15-year-old kid, thought they can get one over on him. And, hey, sir, I'm going to need you, Coach, back to your dugout. And I mean now. One more and you're out of here. You're gone. You're gone. I remember one coach, I kicked out the head coach. The assistant started in on me, and I go, you want to join your buddy? And he just looked at me, turned around, and walked away. Anyway, so at the end of the summer, the very end of the summer, all the games are over by like 2 weeks. Me and this guy are over there. I think we may have gotten a bunch of dudes together to play softball on one of their fields, because it was a really great place to play softball if you got enough guys, because the home run fence was legit. It wasn't so close that you could pop it up and it's a home run, but you tag it good enough. And so it was fun. We had a lot of fun. So that game, I probably ended, and we're walking to leave. Now, this ballpark is like a lot of ballparks. In the center, there's a building that's got, equipment and a concession stand and other stuff. And then fanning out from it are all of the fields. So we're just walking around like you do. And my buddy tries the door on the concession stand. Because we're just trying the doors, just goofing around, And it's open. For the next week, we ate so much ice cream and so much candy from that concession stand. I mean, we cleaned it out. And there wasn't a ton of stuff left in there. It wasn't a huge amount, because it was the end of the season. But we had to have eaten 50 candy bars, and we had to have eaten 25 various frozen. Anyway, let's see here. Many trucks carry a sign, the shape of a stop sign, that warns other drivers of children crossing the street to buy food. They also play music to attract consumers to their trucks. With the advent of social media networking, many ice cream truck operators are redefining the traditional business model. Not satisfied with the traditional approach of cruising for customers, some operators, such as gourmet ice cream sandwich maker Cool House, are developing followings on social media sites and are announcing the locations of their trucks. Yeah, my guy, his Facebook page today says, I'll be pissing off everybody in Lake Highlands from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock tonight. Professionally built ice cream trucks that sell prepackaged foods are known as novelty trucks. They use commercial cold plate freezers that plug in overnight. When unplugged, maintain their temperature for at least 12 hours. Music systems are mechanical, more commonly digital sound chips that have no tape or moving parts. Each music box may be able to play one or multiple tunes. And oh God, I wish this guy had multiple, because that turkey in the straw is getting old. In Norway, I'm just going to mention this because it's a little odd. There's two leading ice cream van companies. Isbilen, which literally means ice car, and that's by a company called Frost, F-R-A-S-T, and Diplom is Bilen by Diplomis. Diplomis Bilen sell ice cream made by Diplomis, and Isbilen sell ice cream made by Isbjorn. And they also sell fish. That's why I mentioned this. In Norway, the ice cream trucks also sell fish. The ice cream vans can be heard from afar and attract customers to the street by playing the iconic tune Norge Rund, symbolizing their presence all over the country. And that's really all I know about the ice cream van. That's really all I know about the damn ice cream vans. I got another one. There's an old shitty one here. I'll show you. There you go. This says ice cream. Toby McGroby says, we got a freezer on three-wheeled bicycle here in Canada. Great selection of ice cream, but so many hill-related crashes. I've seen those too. Those aren't bad. Japan has some wild ice cream. Japan kind of tricks up everything they do. Bog is here, the legendary Bog. Oh, man, from the Pot Awful cult. Good to see you. George Neal says, my wife would get mad when I would put my stereo speaker in my window and play the Entertainer from The Sting really loud and wait for the kids across the street to run out looking for the ice cream truck. That is awesome, George. So this was in the 90s when you was in high school? No, this was in the 70s when I was in early high school. Terry Nee says, when I was 15, I umpired girls softball. It was great kicking adults. Isn't it? This guy is the head of an accounting firm or an insurance agency, comes over to you, and he's going to give it to you. And you go, Coach, need you back in your dugout. I want to talk about that last one. All right, go ahead, talk about it. That was a mile outside. Not from where I'm standing. You here to argue balls and strikes? Well, I was gonna. Yeah, see, I'll kick you out for that. You can't argue balls and strikes. A little dust on the front there. I'll kick you out for balls and strikes. So, back to your dugout. It was great kicking them. They sometimes they go into the stands, and then you'd have to do the whole, sir, you can't be in the stands either. You're gone from the ballpark tonight. Occasionally, police. We had two coaches get in a fight. Had to call the cops. Ha! Like that scene in The Naked Gun where Frank Devin was calling strikes on every pitch. Exactly. Aku says, my brother owned a paintball shop for a couple of years, had me as house ref, and ran the counter. Difference between me and the players was I had rubber rounds and turned up the PSI a touch. There you go. Open concession stand. Open concession stand door. That's a big mistake. Well, I think it might have been locked, but it wasn't shut all the way. Like it didn't click. They locked it, but when they pulled it shut, they didn't make sure it clicked all the way. Yeah, it was great. They had these grape bars there, like frozen grape juice. Oh my God, they were great. Ice cream trucks, the modern day Pied Piper. That is. This chat room cracks me up. Quality over quantity. My kind of ice cream van. Rumble Trench, I'll take 2 bomb pops, a SpongeBob popsicle, and a herring, please. And some Kipper snacks. That's funny. Toby McGraw, exactly. I love it here. Okay, let's see here. Should be kicked for arguing about balls. Yeah. Let's see here. Rumpled, looking up herring. Yeah, look up kipper too. So yeah, that was a good summer. Good summer. Every single night, I got to just put on a t-shirt, pair of shorts, and some tennis shoes, and get my umpire pad and my thing and the cap, and hey, 2, hey, 3, you're gone. Hey, can I give a quick call to talk about the Columbo episode with an ice cream truck? Oh my God, you had me at. Hey, can I give a quick call? Let me open the phone lines. I'll tell you when they're open. They're not open yet. So basically, Norwegian trucks sell anything that really needs to be kept on ice. Yes, including kidnap victims. Rumpled. Yeah, he'll be on in a second as soon as this damn thing opens up. So yeah. Boy, that ice cream truck looks like it's seen better days. Look at that dented bumper, and it's an oldie. I think it's in pretty good shape, I guess. But all right, I'm done with that. Let's just put that guy up there for fun. How about in the original, really underrated movie? It's a cult film, and most of you, if not some of you, have seen it. The original, not the remake, which isn't bad, by the way. It's not terrible, but it's not as good as the original. Assault on Precinct 13. That whole movie, that whole fracas gets started because some gang members shoot a little girl and their pop goes berserk and kills a couple of them. But she's at an ice cream truck when it happens. It's actually that Kim Richards. If anybody here watches any of those crazy housewife shows, it's Kim Richards. Yes, sirree. When I see this picture of me as an ice cream man, it's just got a look on his face to say, hey kids, I bought this truck and I'm giving away free ice cream to put this jerk out of business. Here you go. Who wants this free ice cream? And as tall as that ice cream is, the wolf, and I'm not joking, the wolf would make ice cream cones in the dining service in college double that height and not coming to a point, just round all the way up. That was the wolf. All right, Rumpled. Phone lines are open, 972-994-6822. And then we'll talk some Columbo ice cream truck. Just what this show needs. It's just what this show needs, something. And that's just what this show needs. But Phil's point's well taken, but come on, man. I don't have that. Oh, I'm live watching remotely thing. I don't have that. All right. Sometimes the first call screws up a little bit. Caller, you'll have to turn your speaker down, caller.
Whoop, how about now?
You're great. How's it going?
Okay.
It's Rumpled Trenchcoat from the Columbo podcast, which if you're not listening to it, you need to be listening to it.
Well, thank you. Long-time listener, second-time caller.
Yeah.
So I had to call in because, of course, the season 2 episode of Columbo called The Most Crucial Game, a big part of Robert Culp's plan is to make it seem like he is in the control tower at the football game where he's the overall head, sneak out disguised as an ice cream salesman, and drive over to Dean Stockwell's house and bash his brains in with a huge ice block. So he is the most conspicuous looking ice cream salesman. He's, well over 6 feet, got this 1970s mustache and practically cat eye sunglasses. Gets into the Ding-a-ling ice cream truck. That's the fictitious ice cream company they use. My favorite part of the episode, and it's actually the sound effect I use because my sister and I did do this episode already. He has to stop off at a payphone because they didn't have cell phones back then.
Yeah.
Playing the radio to call the coach and to call the victim. But a little kid runs up because he sees the stopped ice cream truck, and he tears out of there so fast that she practically gets sucked up in the vacuum he creates. He drives away from that so fast, and you just hear her say, "Mister, stop, ice cream, I want ice cream." And it is just the funniest thing. I mean, I don't know that it's supposed to be funny, but having this little kid scream after a murderer for ice cream, it just gets me every time. And the son of a gun, that's part of how he got caught too, because there were no Ding-a-ling ice cream trucks supposed to be in that area. So had to call in. You can't have an episode about ice cream trucks and not talk about the extraordinarily dapper
Robert
Culp.
Now, Robert Culp was a villain more than once, correct?
Yes. Yeah, he did 3 in the original classics.
The first one I have, and he's a very regimented businessman, very analytical, calculating kind of a business guy, right?
Yeah, his first episode, he was an ex-cop who set up a detective agency.
That's it.
Yes, very regimented. Yes,
computers.
Hot temper.
Major hot temper that would just go off at the drop of a hat. But the rest of the time, he's very regimented, and he used computers, and his outfit was a big, fancy, advanced outfit, and doesn't he make
metal detector gate?
Yeah, and we have several people in that area, or whatever. He's very pompous.
Well, he ran I'm sorry. He ran it like a military operation, practically.
Yeah, and doesn't he float out a trial balloon to Colombo? You could come to work for me and make a lot more money. And
I mean, he flat out offered him. He said, "Hey, I can essentially triple your salary, and the only catch is that you're going to have a lot more important cases than this one that I committed. So you're not going to be able to really follow up on that case all that much." And I do love it when they offer Columbo a job, or they say something like, and so at the very end of the episode after he's caught, Culp says, "You should have taken that job."
Yeah. I love Robert Culp personally. I always loved him.
Yeah, he's great. He does, and he does it in every episode he's in, and probably just about everything he has ever done. He does that really tightly wound person on the verge of snapping at any moment, but still in control until he's not, and so he really has that. You could see it's almost like there's a seething anger under him that he's just controlling, and he really conveys that so well.
He was so great in I Spy, and he was so great in Greatest American Hero, but he was in so many shows that he played more the character that he played on Columbo. That just taciturn, no detail overlooked, but he's just got a screw loose.
Yeah, absolutely. So now he did play a businessman. You were right. That was his last episode of the classics. And he did play a businessman. That was in the episode of Subliminal Advertising. where he got his victim to feel incredibly thirsty to time it so that he would go outside to the water fountain where he would shoot him while he had an alleged alibi by doing a presentation in front of a crowd.
Yeah.
And then Columbo caught him by the same subliminal pictures of Columbo searching his office to make Robert Culp nervous enough to go to where he hid the murder weapon. So I don't know. I'm sure it's pretty obvious I could talk Columbo all day.
Yeah, so could I. I love Columbo, and I really love. I mean, if you were to write down not just the villain guest stars, the special guest villain, but there were episodes where Ray Milland, Academy Award winner, was not the villain, but he was in the episode.
Yes.
I think Ida Lupino was in an episode. I think she may have directed an episode because I know she was directing later in her career. But there's some spectacularly accomplished actors and actresses that are on Columbo.
Yes. As a matter of fact, it was really cool because they've got they have about 9 or so, give or take, people who starred in one episode as either a victim or a murderer, and then another episode is what I like to call an innocent survivor. They're not the killer or the victim. And so Leslie Nielsen, for example, he was an innocent survivor in The Lady in Waiting when the his girlfriend,
the
he heard
fiance
the gunshots before the alarm. Yes.
Yeah. Was that with Susan? Was that with Susan Clark?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Excellent episode.
I'm telling you, Rumpled. You think I don't know this stuff, and I'm not paying. I do. I do know this stuff. I can see that room that she was in when they fooled her at the end, when she made the security alarm go off and everybody came rushing. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, no, her bedroom. It's. I mean, look. Let's face it. It's a great show, and it leaves an impression on you.
Yeah.
And so Leslie Nielsen, he was the innocent boyfriend in that. But another episode, Patrick McGowan killed him because he was a CIA agent that was getting a little too close to finding out that Patrick McGowan was a double agent. So he's another one who did multiple killers, Patrick McGowan.
Well, it was convenient. I think that was convenient for Patrick McGowan at the time because he kind of exiled himself to California.
Yes. And
I know that he would only work with certain people, and so he probably liked working on that show or something. But
he did. He and Falk became very good friends after the episode Dawn's Early Light, where he was running the military academy, and he was given away because his position while standing on the cannon that he sabotaged is the only place he could have seen the cadets brewing the beer illegally, or wine or what have you. And so they became very good friends, and Patrick McGowan wound up directing a lot of episodes of Columbo after that.
Yeah. He started directing, and who else? God, there were some old Hollywood people on there that were like, whoa, God. I mean...
Well, Don Amici.
Oh yeah,
Don Amici played a lawyer.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's another Academy Award winner. I mean, they're falling out of the trees over there. But I'm seriously, it's, and I did not know until I looked into it that Ida Lupino, after she quit acting or before she quit acting, she started directing. She was like all over the place directing. Which was stunning.
I did not realize that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But anyway, well, I'm glad you called in and updated us on that.
I just figured I had to. I like for it to at least be somewhat related to the topic. And when you're talking about ice cream trucks, you got to talk about a guy in a ding-a-ling uniform peeling away from a small child begging for ice cream. It's just a must call. So.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again, Tom. Always good to talk to you. I
appreciate
you letting me on.
No, anytime. Call in anytime. And by the way, thank you for supporting the show and the gifted memberships and all that, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
It's very much appreciated. So, Rumpled Trenchcoat, a Columbo podcast. If you're not listening to it, and watching it, you're messing up. Yeah, it's like appointment viewing. Didn't you say it was on Peacock or Paramount right now on demand?
I think on demand it's on Peacock, because I know it was a Universal television show.
Yeah.
So I think it's on Peacock, for free with commercials. I know it's also on YouTube on their channel for a small fee. I have the box set because I like having physical media, but
Same
it's
here.
available. You can watch it pretty much anytime.
We're old. We like to own our media, and if the internet
Yes.
goes down, we can still watch our stuff. I have, and I don't know how I got this. I think I have season 1 and season 2 of Columbo. And then I think I have season 1 and season 2 of McCloud.
Oh yes. They must have had a mystery wheel sale or something.
Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe they just took the first 2 seasons of all that stuff and put it because that's kind of the amount you would expect maybe in a 1-season box set, because of the fact that they did rotate and they were 2-hour shows with commercials. So, they're just longer.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's good stuff. I like I said, I liked Heck Ramsey. I liked all those shows. So
They were a lot of fun.
yeah. So if you can, get the wife, get the kids, get somebody, watch the first episodes, start at the beginning. You watch an episode, and then you listen to the Rumpled Trenchcoat podcast right after that episode. I'm telling you.
They're even fun to have on in the background if you got to do something that's not too mentally taxing.
Yeah. Well, and you don't necessarily have to have seen the episode to listen to the podcast, because you guys describe what happens so well. So you're kind of hearing a synopsis while the show's going on.
We did do that as a choice because we know that not everybody does have access to Columbo necessarily. So we thought, hey, let's just do a cap, and then that's how we bring up some things. A large focus of the show is, I'm quite a bit older than my sisters, so I remember a lot of the 70s things, as opposed to hers. So, it's fun when you see Gold Lame in the wild.
Or even Susan Clark's bedroom in that it's nothing but curtains. The whole room is surrounded in curtains. And it's like, no, I knew people that did that. They called them valances or whatever, but they didn't have wallpaper. They were just curtains all over the wall in their room. But no, it's a really, really, really great show. I love the way you guys do it and have fun with it. So anyway, I'll let you get back to your regularly scheduled life currently in progress.
Sounds good. Thanks again, Tom. Take care.
Call in anytime. Oh, the great Rumpled Trenchcoat, Columboing us up a little bit. Man, damn. I'm going to give that call a 5. I'm going to rate the quality of that call as a 5. Let's see. Oh, good gravy. So basically, Norwegian trucks sell anything that really needs to be kept on ice. Yeah, it stinks on ice. Okay, here we go. Hey, where was I here? Dairy Queen will sell anchovy blizzards, but you have to ask for it in a Minnesota accent, don't you know? Oh yeah, you can get those anchovy ones. Oh, those are delicious. Some actors just play the villains so well, says Doctor. Yeah, you're right. Rumpled Trenchcoat says, Karen Garvey says, Rumpled Trenchcoat Columbo podcast is so much fun. Try and Catch Me is one of my favorite episodes. I love when Peter Falk, Cassavetes, and the gang were on Johnny Carson. Well, first of all, the movie The In-Laws, the director's cut of that, Alan Arkin and Peter Falk will just crack you up. There was something I wanted to talk to Rumpled about, and I forgot it before I let him go. It was right here, and then it went. Traditionally, mysteries are called a whodunit. Who did it? Who would try to figure out who the murderer is? Who done it? the mystery movie on NBC with Columbo and McMillan and Wife and McCloud and all those other shows, they made a different term for theirs because it called Now Catch 'Em. One word, Now Catch 'Em. Because on those, you see who done it. At the start of the whole thing, there's no mystery as to who did it. Right from the beginning, you watch them do it. So you're not who done it, you're Now Catch 'Em. You know who did it, you know how they did it. Just subscribe to Rumpled Trenchcoat, the Doctorn. All right, Doctorn, you're a nice guy. Dupa, Karen Garvey says, Doctorn, start at the beginning. Yeah, you really do need to start at the beginning. Rumpled Trenchcoat said, Try and Catch Me was a great one, Dupa, with the great Ruth Gordon, one of the most sympathetic killers on the show. Thank you, Doctorn. How Catch 'Em? Oh, to wonder how they were going to get caught. How Catch 'Em? Maybe it is How Catch 'Em. Maybe it's not Now Catch 'Em. I had to study that in TV class when I was in college. Our house, we never missed the Wednesday night or the Sunday night mystery movie. Never, never, never. We never missed Newhart or All in the Family or Mary Tyler Moore, and we never missed the mystery movie, ever. Well, maybe we'd miss a McMillan and Wife once in a while. Karen says, I like going on a walk/run when listening to Rumpled because it replays vividly in my mind. I have a bad memory and don't have to rewatch. Yeah. Well, they'll synopsize it for you. Thank you so much, Dupa. I'm glad you enjoyed. Here's the thing for me. I've seen every Columbo, and probably more than once. I'm a big fan. I actually kind of impressed myself just now talking to the expert about it because I can remember. When those guys, Rumpled and his sister, do the synopsis, the episode's playing in my head. They do such a good job of it. Randy says, good night, Gracie. Good night, Gracie. Night, Randy. What about Officer T.J. Hooker? Oh, God. That was I could never watch that. What was the name of the chick on that show? The hot girl? Adrian Zemed. That was Heather Thomas. Night Chef. Good night, Chef. Rumpled Trenchcoat says, you know your Columbo stuff, Tom. I'd fight anyone who says otherwise. Awesome. I do know a little bit about Columbo. Wasn't Columbo originally... They were starting out and there was something about they were going to do a wheel. They wanted to do a different one, and somehow they got Falk involved. I can't remember. I'd have to read back up on it again. I was reading up on it a couple months ago, and now I've completely forgotten. Totally forgotten. I don't know if you guys remember a show called UFO. It was made by Gary and Sylvia Anderson, and it had a moon base and chicks with purple wigs and and these flying things with one big missile in the front. Anyway, long story short of it is, you've heard of Space 1999, right? Well, the show UFO, which was big in England and then was big in syndication here, started tailing off in ratings toward the end. So they decided we were going to do a third season to this, but now we're not gonna. And Gary and Sylvia Anderson said, well, we actually had a different concept. We were going to take the show and just put it on the moon and have the moon blasted out of orbit and blah, 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 blah. And they went, hey, that sounds pretty good. And then UFO, they took that whole concept and just said, let's just make it Space 1999 now. But it was originally supposed to be the third season of UFO. The Rumpled Trenchcoat says they did have more than one wheel. The second wheel wasn't quite as successful. No, it was not. Both of the wheels had at least one good anchor show, if not two, and then a third show that never caught on and just rotated out every season. Kind of. It's not 100% accurate, but it's kind of accurate. Is that bad? Yeah, it's bad. You want them all to be successful. And it's tough when you've got a show that only appears once every 3 weeks, because people are creatures of habit. And if you find another show, you might stick with them. But if you got Columbo and you got McCloud, those are two really strong ones. So when Heck Ramsey comes in, and a lot of people don't like it, or it's not as popular, you're back to those two strong weeks really fast. But guy with the flashlight walking in. Well, what a wonderful show we had. We talked about the ice cream trucks, and there's some cleavage for you guys just to make the show a little more exciting. Special guest star Rumpled Trenchcoat came in. Karen Garvey was so nice and so generous and stuff. So it was really a wonderful show. Now look, if I don't get invited to a barbecue or some other socially relevant fun event, okay, then we'll have a Sunday show. I don't know what it'll be. Don't ask me. But we will. We will. On Sunday. And if I get to the room and there's nobody there, we just won't do a show. Because that is a marauding I-beam right in the middle of my Sunday. And I like my Sundays. Dupa is the real VIP. Dupa is a very, very first person that monetarily supported this program. It was Karen Garvey. Very first one. And we will treasure her always for it. All right, I'm sure a large number of you would like to get back to the Rico show. So I guess that old clock on the wall, you know. I'd like to thank everybody for being here. Like, share, subscribe, bell notification, blah, 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 blah. And maybe we'll see you Sunday. If we don't see you Sunday, I guess it's Monday. Who's Rico? Oh, Dupa can't be with us on Sunday. Well, we ought to just cancel the friggin' show right there. No Karen Garvey, no show. Okay? Anyway. We don't see you Sunday, we'll see you Monday. With all that being said, who's Rico? I'm Kelly Clarkson. All right. Until next time, we'll see you next time. Oh, yeah, in case you didn't notice, my screen name today is in homage to the Choco Taco.